Welcome to Grammar 3. In this booklet, we're going to go over adverbs, review capitalization, look over predicate nominatives, and how to sentence diagram predicate nominatives. So first, let's start with adverbs. Adverbs are words that describe a verb. So let's look at an example. We have I run quickly. So let's get the subject and verb settled. We have I as our subject and run as our verb. So what in this sentence is describing run? Quickly. Quickly is describing run. Quickly is describing how I run. Let's look at another example. We have Barbara and Michael merrily laugh. So once again, we're going to identify our subjects and verb. And so we've got Barbara and Michael as their subjects and laugh as our verb. And what in this sentence is describing laugh? Merrily. Merrily is describing how they laugh. And that is what you're going to go over for adverbs in this booklet. So now we're going to skip over the capitalization review as it is review, and we're going to go straight into predicate nominatives. So a nominative is a technical fancy word that pretty much just means noun or pronoun. So let's define what a predicate nominative is. It is a noun or pronoun and the predicate that renames the subject. A PN will only be found after a linking verb. So make sure you've brushed up on what a linking versus an action verb is, as we did go over that in Grammar 1 and 2. So first, we need to identify what our noun or pronoun and the predicate is. Let's look at an example. So we have the sentence, a dog is my pet. Well, you know is the verb, and a predicate is the part in the sentence that starts at the verb and contains everything after that until the end of the sentence. So in this sentence, our predicate is my pet. That's the predicate. And everything before that is the whole subject. So now that we have our predicate and we've identified that, let's go back to just the regular sentence. A dog is my pet. We still know that is our verb. So now let's identify what our subject is. Dog. Dog is the subject. So what in the predicate is describing, or not describing, is renaming dog? Pet. So let's look at this as if we were going to inverse this. So we have a dog is my pet is a dog. Notice that we have changed the sequence of dog to be the predicate nominative and pet to be the subject. But if you look at the two sentences, they still mean the same thing. A dog is my pet is a dog. So then what are we going to have? We're going to have dog as the subject, is as the verb, and then pet as the predicate nominative. Let's look at another example. Here we have Priyanka plows a field. So let's find our predicate first. You have plows a field as your predicate. So now let's just get the simple subject and the simple verb. We've got Priyanka as our subject and plows as our verb. Is there a predicate nominative? No, because this is an action verb. So there's no way to rename the subject when you have an action verb. So you're done with this sentence now. Let's look at one more example of a sentence. We have the soccer team is they. Now this sentence will sound really awkward because we often will say in common speech, the soccer team is them. But that is not proper grammar because we will see in a few minutes. So let's find our subject and verb first. Team is our subject, is the verb. So now let's see, we have the soccer team is they. So what is they? It is a pronoun. It's also in the predicate. What is the function of that pronoun? Well, it is renaming the team. Therefore, it is our predicate nominative. So if we once again switch this to be a new sentence, they are the soccer team, notice that it means the same thing. They is our subject and soccer team is the predicate, or team is the predicate nominative. So that's why they is at the end of this sentence, the soccer team is they, because it is the predicate nominative. Therefore, it has to be a subjective pronoun. So let's look at the sentence again. The soccer team is they. Team is being renamed by they. So now let's just go ahead and work on sentence diagramming with predicate nominatives. And if you're still a little confused, maybe this will clear things up. Here we have the sentence, orange is a color. The best thing to do if you're not sure about how to diagram a sentence is to just go ahead and label everything in the sentence. So I've underlined the subject and I've double underlined the verb. And so now we're just going to look at the words a and color. What are the functions of these two words? Well, color is renaming orange, therefore it is a predicate nominative because it is a noun and the predicate describing orange. So what about A? A is an article and it is describing color. So now that we've got this all situated, we can start diagramming. In this booklet, you will be given all of the lines you need to diagram the sentence, but in this video, I'm just going to go ahead and build up the diagram. So we're going to start with our baseline, and then we're going to have our line that bisects that baseline so that we are separating it into the subject and the predicate. It's very important to have that full line going through. So now let's go ahead and put our subject where it should go. So orange is our subject, and then let's go ahead and write our verb, which is. So now we have to place a and color. So we are going to have this diagonal line, and at this point this diagram should look very familiar as we went over this as one of the first diagrams you did in Grammar 2. In Grammar 2 we called it the predicate nominative, just extra information, but now we're giving you the technical name. So we're going to put that extra information into its proper spot, which is after the diagonal line, and now we just have to attribute the describing word a to the proper noun that it is attributed to. So a will describe color. There you go. Now you have diagrammed orange is a color to be the predicate nominative sentence diagramming. If you have any questions over what was covered in here, be sure to contact the person who grades your grammar at the center.